I would like you to ask yourselves and try and remember the last time you've seen a grown man cry tears of joy. Take it time. It's all right. If you've never seen it happen before, it's all right. It doesn't happen very often. Today, though, I intend to teach you how to make it happen. And with any luck, if you pay attention, and I'm teaching it anyway correctly, you'll be able to make it happen again yourself. The last time I saw this mythical event occur was at a military potluck. Somehow I managed to get several officers and NCOs considerably older and more world-weary than myself to stifle back tears during a meal, and I was personally thanked by a colonel. That's no mean feat, I assure you, if you happen to know one. I don't consider myself much of a cook, and I certainly don't have any culinary education, but I can thank my old man and my Cajun grandpa for their recipes and for their steady teaching. Lord knows a good meal at the end of a bad day can help settle the nerves and restore some life to some old bones and weary muscles. Now, I won't bother you with the history of this particular recipe, as I don't know it, nor do I care to learn it. So instead, let's just roll into this at full speed, and I will waste no further time. Okay, so the next part we'll be adding on today will be the actual ingredients. Now, typically speaking, you'll find chicken breast, an egg wash, as you can see right here. Now, typically I prefer Carolina Reapers, habaneros, pretty much any of the more spicier kinds of peppers you can find. However, today, just to make things a little bit safer, we're just going to the basic habanero, or jalapeno, I apologize. Typically speaking, when you make chicken cordon bleu, obviously the main ingredient will be the chicken, and depending on who you ask, you can throw in additional meats. Now, I prefer glazed or smoked ham, as you can see right there, some thick cut bacon, and 4 cheese spread, as well as this here, breadcrumbs. Now, before you throw any of that together, though, you got to make sure your hands are well washed and well cleaned, as I am demonstrating momentarily. Now, having washed your hands and cleaned all the ingredients, lay your chicken breast out flat onto a cutting board like so. Keep your knife ready, steady, about midway through the breast, lengthwise. Keep your thumb out just so you don't cut yourself. Now, the harder part is you don't want to use a sawing motion. Instead, you just want to apply pressure with the knife, preferably about 1/3 to 2/3 of the way through the breast. And make yourself a nice little butterflied out chicken breast like so. Now, with the butterflied out chicken breast that you've made, all you got to do is the next step is apply a bit of 4 or 3 cheese blend, really whatever kind you prefer. I prefer 4 cheese, really. And spread that out liberally. Now, you don't want to drown it just because you got to use this space later on, but you do want to use enough cheese that acts as an adhesive later on in the meal. From there, we throw on the jalapenos in this case, and from there, we take, you guessed it, the ham. Now, because of the particular size of this chicken breast, I'm going to slice it roughly into thirds that we can use in the meal. Right here, right here, like so, and right here. From there, once you've added them together and layered it in, peel the chicken breast over a little bit. Make sure you clean off any allocated fat that may be intrusive during the meal. And from there comes the next part, where you dip the chicken breast into the egg wash, get it well soaked in like so. Now, this will be a little bit difficult just in case, because you can often lose your grip in the egg wash. All of a sudden, all the ingredients will tumble out. From there, after you've applied the egg wash and sealed back in any escaped ingredients, you dip your chicken cordon bleu back in there, in the breadcrumbs. Just layer it on like so, get a nice, fairly even, preferably, coating of the breadcrumbs. Oops, looks like I lost some. From there, you get chicken breast back onto what you'll be using shortly to cook. Get a little bit more cheese thrown on top of there, just a little bit. Next comes the bacon. Now in this case it's usually easier just because of how large this particular chicken breast is. You want to use not crispy bacon, just cooked lightly on the stovetop. You don't want to make it crispy because that just makes it harder to handle, especially if it's really hot. All you got to do is just layer it out and wrap it like so, like I'm doing here. Yeah, one more. This is good. Now, don't be afraid if it just looks a little bit terrible like this one does right now. You'll fix that momentarily. Now, as you've wrapped it a bit in bacon, obviously it's not well prepared at the moment just yet, but you do have to, just to make it a little bit easier on yourself later on, throw some toothpicks. Now, this doesn't serve any purpose but to just hold the bacon and the cheese and the ham and whatever you happen to use in place, just so it doesn't slaw off during the heating process. All right there. Close enough. From there, we'll move on to the second batch, which I won't video for you. Okay, so we're getting near the end of this particular recipe. And as you can see here, I got 2 chicken cordon bleus that are ready to be thrown in the oven, plus an additional 3. Now, if you've reached this particular part of the video, you'll find that your chicken cordon bleu should be about ready to be thrown in the oven, or grill if you prefer. Typically speaking, just to make sure it's fully cooked through, because I'm dealing with multiple meats on this regard, I'm going to try and put it in for about an hour and a half at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And from that point, the name of the game really just becomes quality control later on. After that time has come out, you want to take out the chicken cordon bleu, make sure it's fully cooked. If it's not, throw it right back in. And let's see here. Yep. Now, after quality control is completed and it's ready to serve, go ahead and keep an eye on whoever's eating it, get their feelings for it. You always want to make sure you get some good feedback whenever you're dealing out meals for multiple people at any given time. From there, let's see here. That's pretty much it. Hopefully this video will help you cook good chicken cordon bleu. You may not be able to make anyone cry after having cooked it, but that's always a pleasant thing to hear. Thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention. And from this point forward, enjoy your meal. All right, and here's how they look at the very end of the cooking process. And they look edible to me.